Hey NFL fans, before we dive into today's hottest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. From NFL News Now, the Dallas Cowboys are navigating a roller coaster season that has seen both bright spots and frustrating moments. And at the center of the conversation this week is none other than Cavante Turpin. Once an unknown signing from a spring league, Turpin catapulted himself into stardom with an electrifying performance that earned him a Pro Bowl nod and ultimately a 3-year, $18 million contract extension this past offseason. Expectations were sky high, and the Cowboys were thrilled to secure his talents for the foreseeable future. However, as the season has unfolded, Turpin's typically game-changing impact has noticeably diminished. His average yards per punt return have dropped from 10.4 to 5.5, and his kickoff return average has slipped from 33.5 to 25.8. More alarming to fans and analysts, though, has been Turpin's recent run of penalties, specifically regarding fair catches, which has raised eyebrows and prompted discussion from the highest levels of the organization in consecutive weeks. Turpin found himself flagged after calling for a fair catch and then attempting to run the ball, a mistake that drew attention from Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. When asked about the situation on one of Dallas sports radio outlets, Jones was candid, emphasizing that Turpin simply needs to stop making this costly error. Well, he's just got to quit that, and if you hold that hand up at that critical juncture, they'll call that a fair catch. And if you try to run with the ball, they'll give you a penalty for it, and that's pretty simple. And it's not that. Really, he'd be the first to tell you he's just got to quit doing that, Jones explained, signaling both frustration and a belief that the issue is entirely correctable, despite the penalties. Jones remains unwavering in his confidence in Turpin's abilities. When the topic shifted to Turpin's lack of explosive returns this season, Jones was quick to defend his Pro Bowl returner. But when it comes to competing, I don't know of anybody I'd prefer to have the ball in their hands than Cavante. So my point to you is that I think we're great there. I think we've got a Pro Bowl returner. And candidly, we've got one heck of a weapon that really complements what we've got with the other parts of our game, Jones said, painting a picture of a player who, even in a slump, provides a unique and invaluable dynamic to Dallas' offensive and special team schemes. It is also worth noting that Turpin's contributions this season extend beyond the return game. In Week 13 against the Kansas City Chiefs, he made a critical, game-saving fumble recovery, a play that drew praise from Jones for his hustle and instinctual football IQ. The message from the Cowboys ownership is clear. Turpin has the talent, the effort, and the capability to shine. But he must translate that same focus and energy to the return game to maximize his impact. The pressure is on him to reduce mistakes, capitalize on opportunities, and reinforce why he is considered one of the premier returners in the league. While Turpin deals with these mid-season growing pains, the Cowboys are also looking forward to building for the future, particularly in the defensive backfield and at linebacker. As the 2026 NFL Draft approaches, according to a recent CBS Sports mock draft, Dallas is poised to address the pressing needs, bringing in a young linebacker and a cornerback to rejuvenate the roster. At pick number 15, the Cowboys could select Ohio State linebacker Sonny Styles, a former 5-star recruit who has consistently performed at an elite level. Styles, a national champion and first-team All-Big Ten honoree, has compiled 80 total tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1 interception, 3 passes defensed, a forced fumble, and half a sack this season. His football pedigree is undeniable. He is the son of former NFL linebacker and Super Bowl champion Lorenzo Styles, who made his mark with the Atlanta Falcons and St. Louis Rams. The addition of Styles would address a long-standing need for a game-changing presence at linebacker, someone capable of impacting both the run and pass game while bringing leadership to a Dallas defense that has struggled at times this season. Later in the first round, at pick number 28 via the Green Bay Packers, the Cowboys could target Clemson cornerback Avian Terrell. The team has been searching for youth and stability in the secondary, especially in the wake of potentially moving on from Trevon Diggs, which would free up nearly $13 million against the salary cap. Terrell brings NFL-ready talent, versatility, and athleticism, with a season that includes 48 total tackles, 9 passes defensed, 5 forced fumbles, 4.5 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. Despite not recording an interception, his family ties to the NFL with his brother A.J. Terrell starring for the Atlanta Falcons, further bolster the perception that he can transition smoothly into the professional game. The selection of Terrell would allow Dallas to get younger, more cost-effective, and potentially more consistent at a position that has proven volatile in recent years. The juxtaposition of Turpin's current struggles and the Cowboys' long-term planning underscores the complexity of running a competitive NFL franchise. On one hand, you have a proven, high-octane weapon in Turpin whose mistakes are correctable and whose upside remains enormous. On the other, you have a team actively mapping out ways to reinforce key positions and inject young talent into the roster. The 2026 draft presents a unique opportunity for Dallas to address multiple areas of need, and if executed correctly, could solidify the foundation for sustained success. This balancing act between maximizing current assets and preparing for the future is emblematic of the challenges faced by a franchise like the Cowboys, who carry both the expectations of immediate competitiveness and the burden of historical prestige. Looking ahead, the key for Turpin and the Cowboys will be consistency, focus, and execution. Turpin's talent is undeniable, his competitive drive unquestioned, but if he wants to continue to justify his contract and his Pro Bowl designation, he will need to eliminate preventable mistakes and generate big plays when the team needs them most. Meanwhile, the organization is positioning itself to remain competitive not just this season, but in years to come, using the draft as a critical tool to shore up weaknesses, infuse youth, and secure talent with high ceilings. The stories of Turpin, Styles, and Terrell intersect in an interesting narrative of growth, accountability, and strategic planning, reflecting the dual pressures of individual performance and team development that define the modern NFL landscape. For fans, this season remains a roller coaster, with moments of exhilaration tempered by frustration. But the overarching narrative is one of potential both for the Cowboys as a franchise and for Cavante Turpin as a player. The next few weeks will be telling, as Turpin has the chance to demonstrate the focus and discipline that made him a Pro Bowler, while the Cowboys continue to navigate the intricate chess game of roster management, playoff aspiration, and draft positioning. Every game, every play, and every decision matters. And the way the Cowboys handle these intersecting storylines will define not just this season, but the trajectory of the team in the years to come. In essence, the Cowboys are at a pivotal moment. Cavante Turpin must reconcile the highs of his career with the immediate need for precision in the return game, while the front office leverages the draft to inject talent and youth into critical positions. It is a fascinating study of how individual brilliance and organizational foresight coexist, sometimes harmoniously, sometimes tensely, in the pursuit of football excellence. For Turpin, it is about discipline and seizing opportunities. For the Cowboys, it is about vision and execution. Together, these storylines offer a compelling narrative of struggle, triumph, and the relentless pursuit of success in one of the most storied franchises in NFL history. Every pass, every tackle, every draft pick, and every return has a story, and the Cowboys are writing theirs in real time, with Cavante Turpin both at the center and a symbol of the intricate balance between talent, responsibility, and the pursuit of greatness. The season continues, the playoff hunt intensifies, and the spotlight remains firmly on Dallas as fans watch Turpin attempt to regain his stride, and as analysts project the impact of incoming draft talent. One thing is certain, the Cowboys are a team in motion, a franchise balancing immediate urgency with long-term strategy, and a roster filled with both stars in the making and proven playmakers. Cavante Turpin's journey from spring league unknown to Pro Bowler serves as both inspiration and caution, a reminder that the NFL is a league of moments where focus and execution define legacies. With Jerry Jones' confidence backing him and the organization committed to building around him, Turpin has every opportunity to turn this season into a defining chapter of his career, while the Cowboys continue their quest to blend youth, experience, and talent into a team. Keep watching as we analyze more details about some rumors. Desperation is in the air in Dallas, and if you listen closely, you can almost hear the frantic whispers echoing through the corridors of the Cowboys' headquarters. Jerry Jones, the larger-than-life owner who has always been synonymous with ambition, grandeur, and controversy, seems to have entered a race against time unlike anything he has faced before. The chatter among insiders, the murmurs from anonymous sources, and the hushed conversations in the locker rooms suggest that the very heartbeat of the Cowboys' Dak Prescott is teetering on the edge of uncertainty. And Jerry is doing everything within his power to prevent the unthinkable. The buzz isn't just about routine negotiations or the usual off-season maneuvering. There's a sense of urgency, a palpable pressure that has every staff member and fan alike on edge. The air in Dallas has that electric, almost conspiratorial charge, the kind that makes you lean closer to your screen or your radio, waiting for the next snippet of news, the next hint of a development that could change everything. Sources close to the organization hint that Jerry is pulling every leverage he has, every card he can play, to ensure that the quarterback, who has become the symbol of hope for the franchise, doesn't walk away or even consider his options too freely. The narrative circulating is that this isn't merely a contract dispute, it's a battle for identity, for the continuity of a team that has struggled to find stability in the post-Tony Romo era. Dak Prescott isn't just a player, he's a statement, a reason for fans to keep coming to the stadium, a beacon of consistency in an NFL landscape where uncertainty lurks around every corner. There's a tension that's almost cinematic in its intensity. Imagine Jerry Jones pacing his office late into the night, making calls, strategizing, negotiating, perhaps even pleading behind closed doors, all to hold onto the quarterback who has carried the team through highs and lows alike. The rumors speak of meetings that stretch into the early hours, of lawyers, agents, and trusted confidants convening to explore every possible avenue to keep Dak in Dallas. Every phone call is loaded with subtext, every meeting thick with the weight of potential consequences. People are saying that the negotiation table has become a battlefield where egos clash, strategies collide, and the stakes could not be higher. Jerry knows that losing Dak would be more than a roster problem. It would send shockwaves through the fan base, the city, and the league at large. Inside sources paint a picture of a locker room caught in a delicate balance between hope and anxiety. The players sense the tension, the uncertainty surrounding their leader. And the whispers are that even the veteran presence in the team feels the weight of this pivotal moment. Every practice session carries a subtle undercurrent, a shared understanding that something significant is hanging in the balance. The fans, ever vigilant, pick up on every signal: the way Jerry talks to the media, the way Dak navigates interviews, the subtle but telling body language that fuels speculation. Social media amplifies the drama as fans dissect every word, every gesture, every hint of compromise or conflict. The rumor mill is spinning faster than ever, and the narrative of desperation in Dallas has taken on a life of its own. Industry insiders suggest that this urgency is not just about the immediate season. It's about legacy, about preserving a narrative that Jerry Jones has spent decades crafting. The Cowboys, a franchise that has always demanded excellence, cannot afford the uncertainty that comes with losing a quarterback of Dak's caliber. The whispers indicate that the clock is ticking, that every day without resolution adds pressure, and that the potential ripple effects extend far beyond the field. There are murmurs of creative solutions being explored, from contract restructuring to incentives to guarantees that are designed to make staying in Dallas irresistible. It's a game of chess being played at the highest stakes, with the entire football world watching and speculating, waiting to see who will blink first. The storyline in Dallas has all the elements of a high-stakes thriller. Jerry, with his trademark intensity and flair for drama, is maneuvering with a sense of urgency that borders on desperation. The rumors suggest clandestine meetings, off-the-record negotiations, and strategic maneuvers that might seem extreme to the casual observer but make perfect sense. When the cost of losing Dak is fully considered, every angle is being explored, every possible leverage point analyzed. The insiders hint at a willingness to bend the rules, to push the boundaries of traditional negotiation tactics, to ensure that the Cowboys do not find themselves without their star quarterback. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation, a mix of tension and hope that is palpable even through television screens and social media feeds. Amidst all the speculation, there is also the human element. The man at the center of the storm, Dak Prescott, talented, poised, and aware of his own value, is reportedly navigating this maelstrom with a combination of professionalism and careful consideration. Rumors abound about how he is weighing his options, about the conversations he is having with his agent, about the subtle signals he might be sending to both the Cowboys and other teams that might be lurking in the shadows. Every movement, every decision is scrutinized by the media, fans, and insiders alike, turning even the most mundane actions into fodder for speculation. The suspense is intensified by the fact that no one can say for certain what his next step will be, making Dallas a hotbed of rumor analysis, and endless debate. The financial dimension adds another layer to the story. Discussions around salary caps, bonuses, incentives, and guarantees are said to be complex, multifaceted, and potentially groundbreaking. The whispers from league insiders suggest that Jerry Jones is prepared to go to extraordinary lengths, exploring structures that are unconventional but might just be the key to retaining Dak. There's a sense that creativity and urgency are colliding in Dallas, producing a high-stakes negotiation that could redefine how teams approach star contracts. In the modern NFL era, every clause, every potential adjustment is under scrutiny, and the speculation is that the final agreement, if it comes, could be historic in both its financial implications and its impact on team morale. As the story continues to evolve, fans, analysts, and rivals alike are glued to every update, every rumor, every subtle indicator of movement. The chatter suggests that Dallas is on the brink of either a monumental retention or a seismic shift, with consequences that could reverberate across the league. Jerry Jones, the relentless figure at the center of the storm, is fighting against the clock, driven by a combination of ambition, pride, and the instinctual understanding that some battles are too important to lose. Dak Prescott, meanwhile, stands as both the prize and the deciding factor, a figure whose decisions will shape the trajectory of the franchise for years to come. The suspense, the speculation, and the drama continue to build, creating a narrative that is equal parts intrigue, tension, and sheer desperation. In conclusion, the rumblings from Dallas tell a story of urgency, strategy, and high-stakes negotiation. Jerry Jones is navigating a labyrinth of contractual, emotional, and strategic challenges in an effort to keep the Cowboys' star quarterback firmly in place. Every insider report, every whispered conversation, and every speculative article contributes to a growing sense that Dallas is on edge. Balancing precariously between continuity and upheaval, the narrative is far from complete, and the outcome remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: the Cowboys, their owner, and their fans are entrenched in a dramatic saga that could define this chapter of the franchise. For years, the drama, the desperation, and the strategic maneuvering continue to unfold in real time, and the eyes of the football world are fixed on Dallas, waiting for the next move in a story that is equal parts rumor, intrigue, and high-stakes sports theater. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow NFL fans. Stay tuned for more updates, only here on NFL News Now.